We all know perfectly well that some people somehow manage to look much younger than their years. For example, a person looks like he is 30 years old, but in fact a person is 45, and it also happens the other way around when a person is 30, but he looks more like 45 years old. Why is this happening? In many ways, the reason lies in our diet. Jolene Diaz is one of the striking examples when a person looks much younger than his years. At the age of 47, she looks 25 and feels great. In her blog, she shared a list of 6 foods that she has been eating for the last 15 years, and according to her, it helps her stay as young as she was at 25. In this video, you will learn about all these products that will rejuvenate your body and, of course, prolong your life. So watch to the end. It will be very useful and interesting. Jolene Diaz believes that the first thing worth mentioning is about a substance such as hydroquinone. This is a specific organic compound that can be found in a large number of products. Hydroquinone is often used as an antioxidant. Scientists have found that for greater effect, hydroquinone must be combined with zinc. Then the body will more effectively counteract such a substance as superoxide. This is a byproduct caused by cellular respiration and is destructive to us. Scientists also found that most hydroquinone is found in products such as tea, coffee, and chocolate. Of course, the chocolate must be real. First of all, we mean dark chocolate, because in those chocolate milk products, often only one name remains from real chocolate. The hydroquinone contained in these products will resist systemic microinflammation in our body. That is, it serves as a prevention of many inflammations, destruction of the walls of blood vessels, even oncology and neurodegenerative changes in our brain. That is, senile dementia. As we already know, zinc must be added to hydroquinone. The average daily dose of zinc for an adult is 11 milligrams. One of the best sources of zinc is pumpkin seeds. One small handful of pumpkin seeds every day is enough, and you will fully satisfy your daily need for this substance. In addition to pumpkin seeds, you can also use various nuts. This is, for example, a walnut, also a very useful thing, and also whole grains, such as oatmeal. Broccoli also contains zinc. Scientists have discovered that hydroquinone is also contained in wine, but here it is worth making a reservation that, of course, there is no need to abuse wine. Let's move on. The next product that has a rejuvenating effect is tomatoes. They contain substances such as lycopene and carotenoids. By the way, it is thanks to lycopene that tomatoes have a red color. An interesting fact is that it is lycopene that protects tomatoes from excessive exposure to sunlight. So lycopene will also protect our skin from excessive sun exposure. Tomatoes can be eaten both raw and cooked. And interestingly, it was found that after a small heat treatment, the digestibility of lycopene increases. Also, in addition to its beneficial effects on our skin, lycopene has a very healthy effect on our blood vessels. It strengthens them and is able to lower cholesterol levels in the blood. How much should I consume it? Scientists believe that an adequate dosage would be 22 milligrams of lycopene per day, which roughly corresponds to 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce. But in no case should you confuse real tomato sauce with ketchup or tomato paste from a jar. This is absolutely not what we need. If you measure the daily dose of lycopene in fresh tomatoes, then 1 kilogram of tomatoes will contain about 50 milligrams of lycopene. According to Jolene Diaz, she consumes at least 3 tomatoes every day, adding them to salads and various dishes. What other products contain lycopene? There are top 7 products in descending order, from the highest concentration to the lowest concentration of lycopene. These are rosehip, guava, watermelon, tomato, papaya, grapefruit, and persimmon. There is the most lycopene in rosehip, but eating even just 100 grams of rosehip is a very big risk to the health of our stomach, so it is safer to eat watermelons, and, for example, grapefruit. One of Jolene Diaz's favorite drinks is a watermelon and papaya smoothie. By the way, you can try it too, but the main thing is that you do not have allergies to these products. Friends, before we continue, we recommend subscribing to our channel, where you will find even more useful videos about health, youth, and longevity. And also turn on the bell so as not to miss new, useful releases. By the way, you can learn more about the lifestyle of the ageless Jolene Diaz in this video. You can find a link to this issue in the tooltip that appears in the upper right corner, or by following the link in the description below this video. So let's move on. The following products are fatty fish varieties. For example, salmon, herring, mackerel. These types of fish contain large amounts of omega-3 and a substance such as dimethylaminoethanol. Numerous studies have shown that those people who regularly consume fatty fish varieties are less susceptible to aging. They form fewer wrinkles and better maintain a healthy skin condition. The thing is that omega-3 is good not only for our cardiovascular system, not only for our brain, central nervous system, and not only for immunity, but also omega-3 has a very positive effect on the condition of our skin, nails, and hair. In general, an adult is recommended to consume about 400 grams of fish per week. It is desirable, of course, to distribute relatively evenly on certain days. For example, for 3 or 4 servings. One of Jolene Diaz's healthy habits is that she eats 100 grams of oily fish after each workout. It is worth mentioning separately about vitamins. The most important vitamins for the health of our skin are vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin B6, and vitamin E. There are a huge number of sources of these vitamins. According to Jolene Diaz, one of her favorite sources of vitamin C is kiwi. It is enough to take even half a kiwi berry, but every day, to satisfy your daily need for this substance. Of course, there is a lot of vitamin A in carrots. It is enough to consume 50 grams of carrots per day, which you will agree is quite a bit. There is a lot of vitamin E, for example, in sunflower oil, although it is not recommended to consume it. So the healthiest source of vitamin E will be, for example, hazelnuts and almonds. Vitamin B6 is found most in pistachios, as well as in sunflower seeds. So if you add these foods to your diet, then you will very well cover your daily need for these 4 key vitamins that play the most important role in our youth and the health of our skin. Remember that before using any vitamins, it is recommended to take tests and consult a doctor. The next item is parsley. Parsley contains a lot of vitamin C, carotenoids, chlorophyll, and myristicin. Parsley has a very good anti-inflammatory effect. It also contains a powerful dose of antioxidants. Parsley contributes very well to the production of a substance such as glutathione in our body, which has a significant rejuvenating effect. How much parsley should consume? For the effect, it is quite enough to consume an average handful 2 to 3 times a week, which will weigh about 40 grams. It can either be added to salads or it can be prepared, for example, smoothies. Jolene Diaz prepares salads from fresh vegetables every day, and often one of the permanent ingredients is parsley. By the way, friends, share in the comments which of these foods do you eat regularly. Thanks for watching. We also recommend checking out our previous videos.